Good. Here we go. You ready? Off we go. Good morning, good afternoon or good evening to wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us today. This is day 2 of the WCF Golf Croquet Women's World Championship. We're in the not so sunny Southwick at the Sussex County Croquet Club on the south of England, and we're looking forward to lots more croquet today. This morning we're back on lawn 1, which we will be pretty much all week. We've got Amani Hassan versus Jane Stevens for you this morning, and I'm going to hand over to the commentary team, which is going to be Andrew Hobbs and Richard Brooks this morning for you. Enjoy your croquet.
Looks like another Egyptian, doesn't it?
Is that calling?
I don't know.
It'd be nice if we...
We haven't got a copy of the playing schedule, have we?
No.
I think we just really need to concentrate on lawn 1. I think.
Yeah.
Not quite so many people here at the start this morning as there was yesterday morning. They've probably all now realised they don't need to all be here at +9. There seem to be a lot of people here.
Right, I think we're going live, or we are now live. So, good morning everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the Women's World Golf Croquet Championships. It's currently 9:30 and play is about to start on most of the lawns. Most players are just finishing their warm-up and doing the tosses. We will be watching lawn 1, and the game on lawn 1 is between Jane Stevens and Amani Hassan.
If I could just briefly say something, as Richard here now, working alongside Andrew this morning. As a long-standing member of the Sussex County Club, I'd like to welcome everybody to Sussex County. Hope you all have a good time following us on live streaming, and we'll do our best to keep you informed.
Yes, we will definitely try our best. Morning Chris and morning Dina. Chris is from Cumbria, Dina's from Egypt. Good to see some people logging in straight away. I must admit, I did this a couple of weeks ago at the AC World Championships. I was logging in and watching via YouTube when I wasn't at the venue. Looks like Jane has won the toss, so Jane is playing with blue and black, mine is playing red and yellow, and they're just about to start from corner 4.
That looks a very useful blue ball.
Lovely shot.
Yeah, I'd be proud of that one.
Chris and I were talking about this yesterday. If you can get your first shot with blue in a good runnable hoop position, like that, it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent to clear.
The Egyptian style is not to attempt to clear with the first ball normally, which I'm afraid if I saw a ball as good as that, I would be tempted to go at it with the first ball.
Yes.
Knowing that I'm not going to hit with every ball, I have 2 shots. But she didn't, she placed, and...
So from our position, we don't know how far it is away from the hoop, so if it could be a 1-yarder maybe. So it's possible in this case to lay another ball up close. But I think from what I've seen of a lot of the stronger players, And the power hitters, they would definitely take 2 shots at the clearance. And that's a nice shot as well. So.
Yes, another very useful black played in there.
Morning, Paul. Welcome from New Zealand.
Probably hear the train going by. We are right next to the South Coast main line between Brighton and Portsmouth. That's for the benefit of overseas followers. The locals. This was definitely a shot at blue ball, quite a powerful shot, but it missed on our side of the blue ball.
Yeah.
We couldn't really tell by how much from where we are.
No. What you might find is when the players get to hoop 2, we might be quite quiet.
Yeah.
We're quite close to hoop 2 and lawn 1 doing the commentary. And yesterday when I was chatting to some of the players afterwards, they were saying that they could hear us doing the commentary at hoop 2. So we'll try and keep quiet and not disturb the players when they're around hoop 2. So if it goes quiet for a little bit, that's probably why it's happening.
Rather surprisingly, Jane elected to clear the red. Now I thought she had a good running position there with blue. I think I would have been tempted to go the hoop. She hasn't got black behind the hoop, she's got it at a bit of an angle, so she's obviously confident of getting that if this red misses. But my style of play would have tempted me to go for the hoop with the blue ball. Would you go that way, Andrew?
Probably would have gone for the hoop, purely because it was quite a straight hoop as well.
Yeah.
And I think with these hoops, the straighter the better, and you can do it quite confidently.
Yeah.
You have the other ball there
It's
just
not
in case.
going to be as easy for Jane to get this ball further down the lawn. It's approaching quite an angle. She's got to get it.
She might plan just to jaws it.
Yeah, maybe.
Very nice.
But she hasn't got the benefit of getting the ball a long way down the lawn. She's well out of the hoop, but she's still some 16 to 18 yards from the hoop 2, I suppose, wouldn't you?
Yes. And yesterday we were talking about how important it is to try and run, especially the odd numbered hoops, fairly confidently.
Yeah.
And try and get it as far up the lawn as you possibly could get it. That's a nice shot with yellow in a good position, runnable position.
Jane wears quite a few support bandages on her wrist. I know she has certain arm weaknesses that she needs to support. Rather overshot with her blue ball.
Yeah, he looked away a bit in disgust where blue ended up, but I think for those of you who are watching at home, the conditions are slightly different to yesterday. We talked about the lawns being quite dry yesterday and the ball's rolling on a bit. We've had a bit of rain overnight. There's a lot of dew on the lawns this morning, so it is slightly slower than yesterday. Good shot. Cleared one of them.
I think there's definitely a hooping opportunity for yellow right there.
So I think the players will be trying to adjust to the slightly slower lawns today. But the hoops still look nice and tight and firm.
Powerful
Good
shot
hoop,
through the
very
hoop there.
nice.
Powerful shot. So it's 1 all.
1-1. Yep. That's a nice shot from Jane.
Yes.
Threatening the hoop, good hoop position.
Probably a little bit short of the ideal position, but it's still useful.
And the thing is, you can play along the line between yellow and blue to stop the clearance, or you could put black a bit closer and try and get a better hoop position.
I think that's what I think she'll favour there. Yes, that's I think a strong
That's
position.
nice. Yeah. That's a nice shot.
Another good placement of the yellow ball as well.
Yes.
I think that's stopping blue.
So I think Jane has options here. She's worried about yellow clearing
Yeah.
black, so she can either knock red all the way to the boundary or just cuddle up to it.
She went for the cuddle option. I'm not sure she's got it. She's having a close look at it. Can't really tell from here.
Just deflected slightly to the right, and I think
Yeah.
she might have given her a shot. Do you play a lot of those cuddle snuggle shots?
Not a lot of them, but I have tried them, but I find the ground is very fast. It's very difficult to hold position. It might be easier on the conditions as they are today. So,
Yeah. In my experience, when I play them, I have to fight my thought process to actually hit them softer than you think you should hit
Yeah.
them. It might sound a bit funny, but yeah, they tend to do roll on a bit, especially if you don't quite get the perfect hit.
this is going
James just
to
hit
be
the wire.
a
So
hoop shot for yellow. She's going to check the tightness of the hoop.
might look for a referee. I think she's
Well, the players are this time encouraged to tap the hoops themselves.
okay.
The referees were doing it all last year, and basically all we were was two hoop tappers. I think in the briefing, the players have been encouraged to, and also in the notes, have been encouraged to tap the hoops themselves. Referees will check them in between games, but not to be continually called out for hoop tapping.
Dina said hello to us. Good morning, Andrew and Richard.
Good morning.
This looks like a little bit of angled hoop. Very nice. And that's what we're talking about on the odd numbered hoops. If you can run it firmly, you get it up towards the next hoop.
So it's gone a little bit further than people like, but it's still in very good position there. Not a running position, of course.
Yeah, but it can be used for a clearance.
Yes.
Especially if she can get
Of
red
course.
into a good position. Yeah.
Of course, it can only clear to the short boundary from that
Yeah.
position. It's only going to clear to the east boundary, so it's only going to be 7 yards from hoop.
In an ideal world, you'd like it on the other side, but I think from
Yeah.
the angle that Amani
Yeah.
was running it at, it was probably going to end
Yeah.
up somewhere on the right.
It was more than likely going to take wire on that side. That had rolled past the hoop.
That's
I think.
gone a bit too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks a nice ball.
Yes.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure from here. I think
I don't
the
think
spectators might see it a bit better because the cameraman's quite close. But yeah, it's possible that black might be in the way of blue.
and it's possible that
Clearance?
black could be wired from red. but we aren't in line to see that. So
Yeah. I think that's what Amani was just checking. She walked that way too.
yeah. Put the ball in between.
She's keeping the pressure on.
Jane's having quite a thought process, deciding what to do here, looking at various options. Seems to have made up her mind now.
Thinking it's got a clear yellow.
Yeah, but it's got to be. And the question is, does red see black, or can it only come through the hoop? Well, from the way she's standing, it looks like
It
it's
looks
got to be
like
through the
she's going to
hoop.
try and play it gently through the hoop,
Yeah.
blocking the black. That tells me that red and black are wired. Oh, she's played it gently into the back of the hoop.
I don't think she's certainly not through. Whether she's actually even entered the hoop, I'm not quite sure. Jane is going to jump this, I think. The stance indicates a jump shot coming up.
Mhm.
Ooh, he's
Just hit the right hand wire.
jumping with these quadray hoops can never be a foregone conclusion. Unlike the old hoops we were using a few years back here, we had Townsend hoops. They were a wrought iron hoop. You couldn't adjust the width at the top, you could adjust them at the bottom, so you set them at the required setting at the bottom, but further up the hoop you had quite a bit of clearance, and it was very beneficial for those that like jumping. But the current hoops we're using here are the Aldrich hoops, which are fabricated steel hoop, and they're more parallel. So, but they aren't as challenging as quadrays by some way.
Yeah, I was chatting to my wife, Lindsay, who's it's her first World's tournament, but we had a bit of practice with the quadways up at Dulwich, and afterwards she said actually she quite likes the quadways because they are true but fair. So if you hit the ball quite nicely and it's accurate, it'll go through. But if you slightly inaccurate on any of the shots, they will bounce out and come back at you, and you know you've possibly done something wrong. And I think it's the same with the jump shots. You're able to play the jump shots, and if you play it correctly with the reasonable accuracy, they will go through. But if you make a slight error, then they're quite unforgiving.
Yeah, the margin for error seems to be smaller on the quadway. Jane got that yellow ball nicely, got it well away.
So there was an interesting tactic, I think, going back to placing red just in the jaws from behind the hoop.
Yeah.
I think it forced Jane to do the jump shot rather than the normal hoop run.
Well, sometimes you can get it right. You can clear and run through with the clearance, but you've got to get a lot of topspin on it to get that working. I think I would have probably taken the same option as Jane.
That's a nice clearance from that distance.
Very nice clearance.
Centre ball, close to centre ball.
Yeah.
She might have got the wire. She might have got the hoop between red and blue.
Yeah. That shot must have been all of 10 yards.
Morning, Patricia. Yeah, we're hoping the weather will be reasonable too. At the moment it's quite mild, bit cloudy, but gentle breeze blowing, but no rain yet.
Unfortunately, in the morning forecast I heard on Radio 4, Helen Willits, one of their well-known weather forecasters, was predicting rain by midday.
Oh.
And we are sitting under a sunshade, which we're not sure how waterproof that will be. But
if need
Andrew's
be.
already dressed in a waterproof coat. And
I
I've got
came
one
prepared today.
I've got one to hand should it be needed.
Yeah, that's 3-1. Mine is 3-1 up.
3-1 up.
Run the hoop nicely. Red has played, so it's now black to play. For those of you new to golf croquet watching, or the layperson who's watching and has joined the live stream, in golf croquet we run the hoops in order from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way to 12, and we play the balls in the colour sequence. In this case it would be blue, red, black and yellow, and we always follow the sequence of the colours when playing.
Marnie's just queried whether Jane's ball was offside, and she's now given direction for it to be played from a penalty point.
Yeah. So one of the rules in golf croquet is that if your ball goes past halfway to the next hoop and it hasn't hit your opponent's ball, then it would be offside and it gives you an advantage. So in that case the opponent can ask you to place the ball on either of the two boundaries at the halfway position in line with the peg.
Marnie's just done a promotion shot. I don't think she's got as close to the black or to the hoop as she would have liked, but she has advanced it to a position where she can clear black.
Yes.
Relatively easy, I think, for someone a first-hander.
I wonder if red had blocked yellow on that shot, so
Yeah, I think
the choice was to promote it so
Yeah.
they can get closer.
Or take a wider position and rely on clearing with red from where it was, which
Yeah.
I think it was wise to promote it like she did, really.
It gives you this slightly shorter shot. 4-yarder rather than
Yeah.
a 7-yarder, and that's a nice shot.
Got it right away to the west boundary, which is all you need to do. There's no point hitting it halfway across the next lawn, like some of our top male players will be attempting to do.
When I was commentating with Chris Clark yesterday, we were talking about the importance of, especially around the two middle hoops, clearing with just enough pace to
Yeah.
get the ball to
Yeah.
the boundary and keeping your ball
Yeah.
closer to the hoop to gain control of that hoop.
Some of the male players, they all know who they are, like to clear the ball as far as possible.
Yeah. The power hitters.
Yeah. And if it works for them, all well and good.
Well, it does work for them.
Yeah, often their own ball is a long way away, but they're so good at putting it back exactly
Yeah.
where they want it.
I myself would love to be able to hit with that much power and accuracy and clear like they do.
Yeah.
But I think my game is more tuned to slightly gentler form of GC.
Placement and accuracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think my days with the big hitting are over. It has to be more of a placement game and a tactical game. I'm never
That
going to
was
match
on the left-hand wire.
Never going to match a 25-year-old for big hitting.
Jane's been a bit fortunate there. The blue's bounced off and has got in the way of red shooting at black,
Yes.
which means it's more difficult to clear black. So it's either going to be a shot on blue to hit
Yeah.
black away, or a jump over blue.
A jump clearance, or I think this looks more like a. No,
Oh.
she's placed. She's going to move in front. I think she may have gone a little bit too far.
So she could get past blue. Mine is basically put another ball in front of the hoop, put the pressure on Jane, saying we need to run this, otherwise I'm going to run it with yellow.
Yeah.
And red is there as a backup.
Well, she's
That's
run it not as far down the lawn as she would like, but it's still, she's well clear of the hoop. It gives her an unimpeded shot to the next hoop, but she would have rather been this side of the centre peg.
I'd say plan A would have been past the peg near the hoop. Plan B would be make sure you run the hoop, but you're not hampered by the hoop. So
ideally, she would have quite liked to have it where the yellow ball has just arrived.
yes, and that's a good shot by yellow. It's in a threatening position. We've seen him only run a hoop from that distance at hoop 2 earlier.
It's a nice blue sent in by Jane.
And it looks by the line that it might have got in the way of yellow.
Might be wiring yellow from the hoop. Can't be sure of that. Those watching on with the camera position at the other end may have a clearer view of that than we have. Perhaps we'll get some feedback on that.
Our camera operator today looks like it's Debbie Davidoff from America. I had the pleasure of doing a little bit of commentary with her yesterday. Very nice person.
I've not
And
met her.
could explain things in a much better way than I could.
I've not met her actually. The American I probably know best is Cheryl Bromley. Seen her a few times at croquet events.
That was a nice shot from Jane. She was trying to get behind yellow to create the hampered shot, force the pressure shot. I don't think she's quite got it.
No, she seems to be quite confident she can get her shot away there. This is going to be a reverse jump shot, do you think?
No, I think
Oh.
it's the hammer.
was.
Oh, nice shot.
Just got off the ground, so it wasn't a full attempt at a jump shot, but she directed it extremely well.
She played that with confidence.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Not a shot that comes off very often, that one.
For anybody who was watching that, wondering what was going on there, sometimes if you have a hampered shot and you can't take the full backswing,
Oh, she's unlucky again,
Unlucky.
Jane, with a jump shot.
you can turn round and play it
Yeah.
backwards. We call
Yeah.
that the hammer shot. It gives you a little bit more of angle, which you can hit down on the ball. You have to be careful not to hit it with the bevel or anything. But
It's a shot that I use quite frequently, actually, to get away from a hoop when you've just gone through. And I've never been faulted on my shot in that respect, and has been looked at by a number of referees. But,
I think the trick is on those is to make sure that you're not hitting down steeper than is it 45-degree angle? I think on
yeah,
those?
there isn't. Yeah, that's a guide. It isn't really. It has been discussed, but it's not been written into the rules. It's a suggested 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
And it's
Someone called the Wine Lake just put in there, what an interesting technique. I quite liked that technique, the fact that she was aiming straight at the hoop as she would take the normal shot and then put the mallet down in line and turn around and picked it up and played the hammer that way. And I mean, you can see its benefit that she hit it straight into the jaws of the hoop. And she wouldn't have been going to run the hoop there, she'd be going to play it into the jaws if possible, I think.
I have seen one of the Americans in the past on video. I believe it was Surbiton, actually turned around to do a boundary jump shot and did it in reverse from the boundary.
Wow.
I don't think he scored the hoop, but it was a clean shot, and that was his style.
Arnie's made the next hoop. It's now 4-2.
Yeah, 4-2. Jane with the first shot over to hoop 7.
And at the moment Amani's in a good position. She's 2 hoops ahead. She can keep trading hoops.
So I've just made the left turn, as I call it, after hoop 6. The only time you turn left in golf croquet.
Going towards hoop 7. For those of you who play AC, that would be 1 back. And I do apologise to all the GC players. If I do refer to the next couple of hoops as 1 back or 2 back, I'll try and remember to say 7 and 8 as well.
You are working alongside someone who never plays AC, so I should be talking about 7 and 8.
Good.
I've also seen a spider just hiding itself in the microphone.
Oh.
It escaped me.
Obviously keeping warm.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere, so we might be collecting a spider for you, Alison.
Right, James put 2 good balls in here at hoop 7, both in run ball positions, and she can choose to either go for it with blue if it doesn't get cleared, or she can actually hopefully use blue to clear red and have a better run ball position with black. That's dead centre. Good shot.
We may go quiet for a little bit now, because they will be running hoop 7 and they will be quite close to us. When there's anything looking like a hoop shot, we'll certainly keep quiet.
The Wine Lake said, of course, even AC players are supposed to call them hoop 7 and 8 now. Yes, that's true. I think it's so ingrained in my brain because I've played for AC for so long that it's just almost a reflex.
Stalk on this ball. Oh, unfortunately she hit the ball, but really moved a little bit further out and hardly altered the line of the ball at all.
Would you prefer to hit that more in the centre?
Tournament referee Ian Cobbold has just walked past. And the referee on duty on this lawn is Francis Coleman. Francis is the only lady qualified championship referee we have on duty here, and my understanding is she's likely to be in charge of the final, to have a lady in charge of the race.
And why not?
Yeah.
I think it's a good choice.
Previous 2 finals Richard Carline has taken charge of, so 2019 and 2022, but I thought it'd be a good idea if we could get our lady referee looking after this one. Unless there's a change of plan for any reason. That's the talk amongst referees anyway.
I think for Jane on this one, need to try. I would be trying to get hoop position if I can.
Yeah, I think so.
And use black to clear yellow.
What she doesn't want is the ball in between black and yellow.
Yeah.
She's gone on the inside of the
inside line.
Yeah, and she's got a nice position. Yes.
I think it might be a touch short. That looks like quite a steep angle or cute angle. But it's in a controllable position for the hoop.
Yeah.
Which means you can still use black to clear yellow if you're worried about yellow running the hoop.
I'll just come back in here as a positional shot. Long way off. Managed to get in between the hoop and the blue ball. It's a much straighter line. A bit deeper than ideal, but it's useful.
I think in this case I prefer it slightly deeper. She was obviously going to try and get the block on black.
Yeah. Lucky Jane.
Lucky.
Had a hoop shot.
Good effort from that range.
Took too much wire and bounced out.
And that's actually a good example on these hoops. We talked about it being firm and fair. It's bounced out, but it's rolled to the side. And with the older hoops, it could have just stuck straight in the middle.
Yeah.
That's a nice little shot. So Marnie's played a very nice little short stop shot, getting blue further up the lawn, but hopefully wired or blocked by the hoop on yellow. She's probably going to use red to clear black if yellow doesn't get moved.
Jane's attempted to come down and she has quite useful there, just behind the red. It may make it very difficult for her to get at the black, but it's going to be another reverse shot. She did this before, didn't she? I think it is. I wonder whether you really ought to be asking the referee to watch this. It's very close to the black, isn't it? Anyway, shots played. It didn't get the desired result.
I think if she's going to go very hard at it, then the referee could have been called, but she's looking just to play gently, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was a fairly good shot from Jane getting that block, and she couldn't clear the black.
Yeah. Just in behind the red ball with the blue ball. Useful stop shot. We're now going to go quiet because the ball's right in front of us. Nice clearance on blue by Marnie. I think Jane's going to have to shoot at red here, I think. Yeah. Because I think Marnie would be going straight for hoop with red.
Good shot.
Just leaning in towards you because behind me, Jamie Gumble was casting quite close to me. So I was leaning that way. He's playing on lawn 5 just behind us. Sorry, she's playing on lawn 5 just behind us. Slip of the tongue. Apologies.
So that was a good shot from Jane with the clearance. Forced Marnie to clear black. And we're back to see who gets control of the hoop first.
No, not runnable.
Just
Not runnable, but it was.
just slowed down.
Yeah.
I would say yesterday they probably would have rolled.
Yeah.
Those last
There's
couple of rolls.
Still a fair amount of dampness on the grass. You can feel it. Just put my hand down on the grass beside us. Still dampness.
I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you can see some of the lines the balls have been travelling along.
Yeah.
Because the lawn is still wet. I don't know if that picks up through the camera or not. Not sure if she was looking to play close with the block in yellow.
It's black, by the way, so I think she still has a line with yellow.
I think if you clear black there, then it's possible you have a chance with it. Or a chance of clearing blue and staying in hoop position.
I think I had to go through the hoop to achieve its desired effect.
Yes, looking at
Came off the
where
wire.
she played it from. Yeah. I think
Marnie's
Marnie's
off
going
for
to
a
get
mallet.
the mallet. Yeah. So she obviously.
Egyptians in particular do like to tap hoops, don't they? So, very much so.
Well, in my experience of watching the Egyptians play, especially the men, they do hit the ball very, very hard. And when you hit the ball hard at the hoops, it does tend to loosen them up.
Yeah.
So they tend to, I think, check the hoops before running them, just to make sure that they are firm, so that they can hit or run the hoops confidently. And I think that I don't mind that. I think it's right. Well, I think it's right. I do the same. I find if the hoop is very, very loose, it can take all the momentum out the ball and the inertia out the ball, and you don't get the same effect. So I would prefer to run the firm hoops myself.
Nice hoop.
Very nice.
Hoop. From the hoop setter's point of view, it can be a bit of a nightmare, because by the end of the day, you've often got your hoops at their minimum allowable height, which I think is 12 inches minus an inch, I believe, to the crown of the hoop. Of course, you get when it's too far, you are reducing your target when jumping.
One, like I said, they've never seen a player using the mallet themselves. We were saying earlier, this tournament, they've encouraged the players to use the mallet and firm up the hoops themselves, and let the referees concentrate on the more intricate shots of the game. And I suppose it does help speed up play a bit, because you can just go and get the mallet and firm them up, instead of waiting for a referee who might be judging something on another lawn.
Unfortunately, in this country, we aren't accustomed to having the same services they get in Egypt, where they have specified ball boys who will come on and and do that for you. But that's never been the custom in England. I don't know, in South Africa, what do they do there, Andrew?
Well, I think we normally call for a referee to come and hammer it in.
That was the case in the previous 2 World Championships here, but in the player notes issued this time and discussions beforehand, it was decided there will not be a duty placed on the referees, although referees do go around between games and throw up hoops. They're not expected to come on every time.
Yes, and the other small change they've made is, well, change that I was surprised with, is they're not having any sequencing umpires, as in, or the players normally are automatic sequencing umpires in the event, but
the new rules don't require that. Everybody is automatically, we don't have to be appointed a sequence umpire.
Yeah.
Every player is a sequence umpire all the time. It's not a trial anymore, it's a part of the...
But
it came in this year as part of the...
I was told that they weren't using it for this.
Maybe they're not using it because it's WCF tournament, but it's CA tournament. Anyway.
Yeah. And I quite like that.
All CA tournaments now, all players, it's not up to the tournament referee to appoint people. You are regarded as a sequence umpire throughout the tournament, all players. Now, I don't think that may not apply because it's WCF as opposed to...
I quite like the fact that all players can be sequencing umpires, because sometimes you get so focused on the game and looking at what you should be doing that sometimes you do forget, and if they pick up on it quick enough, then at least it stops the, I've played the wrong ball out of turn, and it goes on, and then you've got to try and come back.
Right, sometimes they even go out of sequence and go back into sequence before anything is discovered.
And that was a good shot from Jane. She's managed to knock red out of position. Amani cleared blue to the boundary because she felt she was confident with running the hoop with red, and Jane's managed to...
It's a long shot at the hoop there. Well, almost successful.
She's feeling confident.
Yeah.
She is 5-2 up.
5-2 up. So you can feel confident, can't you?
Feel confident and have a go at the longer hoop like that.
Jane surely will go.
I have a funny feeling that she couldn't see black to clear it because blue was in the way.
Is Jane just going to clear the red, or is she going for that hoop?
I think she's going for the hoop.
She did, and she
Good
got
hoop.
it. So 5-3. Jane needs to try and level at 5-5 and then make a fight over the last 3 hoops if possible. But that's not going to be easy.
Yeah, possibly if I had the shot at hoop there, I would have probably gone if I was Amani. I mean, you're up.
Yeah.
If you get that,
would it gone to 6-2?
Gone to 6-2.
It would be a very strong position.
And you can still trade a hoop or two and still stay ahead at this point in time.
In fact, if you get to that position, you can start ignoring hoop 9 and sort of play halfway to hoop 10 when you get a strong position like that.
Yeah.
And let the other player have hoop 9. So were you involved with commentary at the AC Championships then?
Not this year, no. I think a lot of the AC commentary was done by Chris Clark and Keith Ayton, who did a fantastic job. And they had some good appearances by Jack Wicks, Ewan Burridge every now and again. I think. Can't remember who else did that, but
did Aston get involved?
I think he did a little bit. Yeah. I think Rich Waterman at one point was doing a little bit as well. Blue's in a good position. She's really, I think that's a good shot from Jane to get blue there.
I believe she came off the yellow, nudged the yellow and ended up in that position. But I think yellow's possibly still well placed to have the option of a hook shot.
Just the way Jane's lining up, I think she's going to try and clear yellow.
Some people get upset by the trains rattling by, but it didn't seem to affect Jane. She just carried on. I'm happy to see people pause for the train. Distracts some people. A little bit of breeze getting up now, Andrew. I sense that rain maybe, that forecast at 12 o'clock could be
on its way.
On its way.
But the one, like I said, he's noticed that, or she's noticed that Amani is ranked 20th with a D grade of 2470.
Yeah.
And Jane is 234 and with a D grade of 2107. So it is going to form at the moment.
Yeah.
And again.
Who was that? What wine name?
I don't know. That's the
right.
The call handle.
Well, obviously keeping yourself very well informed on the D grades, looking everything up. Unfortunately, we aren't like the Test Match Special. We don't have an Andy Saltzman sitting beside us giving us all these facts and figures. We have to try and remember certain things, don't we, Andrew?
Yes. And a lot of it comes from experience. Yeah. Nice hoop.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Now at 6-3.
6-3.
Amani's in a very strong position.
Yeah.
Although that bug went quite true to the boundary, sort of Reg Bamford style, but it's can
crucial.
be put back in.
It's crucial that Jane gets this in a runnable position, and preferably wide from yellow on the boundary.
But Amani hasn't come down and placed the yellow on the boundary, so Jane is going for a bit of a blind spot really. She doesn't quite know where it's going to be.
And that's a fairly good approach.
Yeah.
I think she would have liked a little bit closer. Chris Clark talks about being between the 2-yard and 1 foot area. So I think that's just in the 2-yard area.
Yes, I think you're right there. Yeah, that's in the 2-yard area. Red's gone a little bit wide. And
Chris Williamson says that a good rain radar app, which will most likely tell us the rain within the hour, is something called Rain Today.
Yeah, there's a lot of options out there for checking the weather. Being somewhat old-fashioned as a septuagenarian, I still rely on the BBC Radio 4, Andrew.
Well, looking across the train tracks and above the trees, there's a big dark cloud coming across, so I'm pretty sure we're going to get rain today.
I'm still convinced Helen Willits from the BBC is going to be right. The rain by 12 o'clock. My sons probably would say I'm a dinosaur, especially when I still refer to imperial measurements. My younger son in particular, who works for Network Rail, is very annoyed that I still refer to use of chain measurement, cricket pitches. One of his missions in life is to change them to metric.
Has to go for this. Good hoop.
Good hoop.
Well done. Very nice.
He's still under the cosh though, at 6-4 down.
Yeah.
But she lives to
you have a chance.
You have a chance. Yeah.
And I always say in any of these games, it's never over until the last hoops run.
No, true indeed.
You always have a chance.
I came back from one, it's only an internal game, internal competition, but I was 6-2 down and came back and won at 13th. Recently.
Just looking at red, it looks a little bit short, and I think Jane's played into position to keep the pressure on. I think this might mean Imani will try and shoot and clear it.
Yeah. I wonder
Which I think is probably the correct thing to do here.
Yeah, definitely. And the way she's sort of winding up for it, you get the impression this is going to be a power shot. And it was very successful too.
Red's close to the hoop, which gives her a little bit of control. It's possible. Ooh, is that thunder?
I'm not sure. We do get some heavy traffic going under that railway bridge out there. Could be that. Jane has missed the red. This may well be jawsable, if not runnable. I think she's going to go for the run. Yeah,
looks like she's going to go for it.
Powerfully at the hoop, I think. Not going to mess around and just try and jaws it. Definitely not. Oh, she did. Well, it took me by surprise. I thought the way she was winding up the casting. Yeah, it's going to be.
I think that's the right play. I would have played it into the jaws.
Yeah.
With both blue and black, the other side of the hoop, and only having possibly a third of a ball to aim at to clear it.
It is tempting when it's a shot for the game to go for that one straight away. Perhaps that's where I go wrong, Andrew. Take a very good shot now to get red out. And this is the easier one, it's closer than the blue. Oh, she jarred the hoop.
Jarred the hoop and it's just pushed it out.
Which has made it actually even more difficult for the blue to get to.
I'm thinking blacks might be in the way of blue to try and clear it now.
Yeah,
it was a good effort.
It was, but Imani's gone down to check.
This is why jawsing was a good idea there, because even if you do manage to clear red, you're not going to be able to clear it by very much, and you might still be able to run it.
You're going to be shooting off across the lawn by some way. But Imani has put the insurance ball in there.
Mm-hmm. And I would have done exactly the same. Because strange things have happened in this game. You could get the ricochet off black and not red.
Well, Jane's just played a central position. That's not going to achieve anything, is it? Because if this hoop is run, the game's over.
Yeah.
She obviously couldn't do anything from there.
Yeah.
That's all that was needed. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, Jane had no shot whatsoever.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
She just played into the middle. A practice shot for positioning in the next game, I would say. Couldn't achieve anything else with that.
So Imani's one game up in the best of three. I'm not sure if they're going to be taking a break or whether they want to play straight on, but they might go and have a water break and a comfort break.
Yeah. So whilst there's no play going on, so there's a bit of local knowledge, as I'm a Sussex born and bred, for some of our overseas listeners. We are situated here at the Sussex County Croquet Club is at Southwick, and we're on the south coast of England, in between Brighton and Worthing, and we're very close to the entrance to Shore and Port here. and occasionally at high tide we do see the larger vessels just drifting by between the trees over there. But, if you haven't had an opportunity to come to Southwick, you'll find it a very welcoming club if you're ever able to. I was commentating with Peter Coles yesterday, and he was very impressed by the whole atmosphere at the Sussex County Club. Very impressed with their courts, and they are a little greener than normal at this time of year because we've had a wet July. We would quite often have some brown patches appearing, even with the watering system, but that's not been evident this year. Had a dry June, pretty hot June, and a wet July, and grass continues to grow. Probably too much for some of our ground staff. Give a shout out for the ground staff. Ben Harwood and his team. I was speaking to Steve Chapman yesterday, and he was here at 5:30 on Monday morning, setting everything up.
Morning, Nelson Morrow. Says
Hello,
it looks like a cold day. It's actually quite mild at the moment. Well, I'm saying that. My wife would probably beg to differ because she knows that I don't feel the cold as much as other people. But I'm saying it's quite mild. I am sitting in a jacket, and some tracksuit bottoms, making sure I'm warm.
Game 2 has just started, and Jane has played a ball that's a little bit long to the hoop 1.
Yeah. And
A deep position by yellow.
that's useful for clearing.
Yep. Jane plays in a blue ball. Again, a little bit longer is ideal, but not as long as the black ball. So
For those of you who don't have croquet scores or not sure what's going on in the rest of the tournament, we've had one day's play. A number of players played 2 games yesterday. Some of the players had a bye and played 1 game yesterday. With that in mind, noticed in Block A, Sohar Mustafa has won 2 matches at the moment. So she's won both her matches. And Diana Wilson in Block A has also won 2 matches.
4 balls played into the first hoop. Probably the only runnable one is the one deeper on the boundary. But at least that's the way it looks from where we are.
And in Block B, Amani, who's playing currently, has won 2 matches so far. Jane has won her 2 matches so far. And then Piercy's won 2 matches so far in that group.
I think Amani's going to attempt to run that hoop from the boundary. She's striding off to get the mallet again.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's been pretty confident on these longish hoops.
Yeah. Black ball is encroached from lawn 2, which Ashley will be walking across to collect.
With regards to Block C, Maram has won 2 matches. Gabrielle Higgins has won 2 matches, and Jessica Bullen has won 2 matches in that block as well.
That's the conclusion of that match. Looks though Ashley lost that one.
Is that Ashley Cook?
Yeah, Ashley Cook has just, I think, lost on lawn 2. There was a handshake after that shot, so I think that was the conclusion. Must have been 2 straight games.
Okay.
There. Now here comes the hoop shot by Amani. She's just but she got the left wire.
Yeah.
On the outside of the left wire, and has ended up well over to the west boundary, yard and a half from the west boundary.
Jane's. Now I think this should be a nice positive go at this hoop for Jane. Confident.
She's
Something
restalking.
distracted her. And I think that's a good thing to do. If you get distracted or not focused, step away, restalk.
Something that I'm not very good at. I tend not to employ that technique, and I should do, Andrew.
It's really useful. Nice hoop.
Nice hoop, and
she's got
reasonably
got
well
past.
down the lawn. Yeah, well past halfway. Probably 5 yards out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she didn't hit that hard. She just ran it with conviction and confidence. And we were talking about that yesterday, Chris and I. That, you don't have to smash the ball hard. Just hit it with a nice, smooth, confident swing, and you can get fairly further up.
Probably picked up the voice of an Egyptian just walking behind us there. Andrew and I have no idea what they're talking about.
In Block D, Jenny Clark's on 2 wins so far. Debbie Lyons on 2 wins. And they'll obviously be playing their other games today. Block E, Rachel G's on 2 wins. Merved Al Shazli is on 2 wins. And Sylvia Framain is on 2 wins from Latvia.
Do you think there is a number of our followers are not on Croquet Scores, Andrew?
I don't know. I'm just trying to keep people informed.
Oh, well done. I wonder if you've had some feedback on the... Oh, that was unlucky.
Nice try.
Has it just got behind the hoop so she can't get it black? I don't think it has.
Looking at Block F, we've got Pauline Salib on 2 wins. Ashley Cook on 2 wins.
And Jane nearly got lucky. It almost went behind the hoop there, but she can get it black.
I was watching Ashley play yesterday against fellow South African Judith Hanekom, and Ashley was playing quite confidently and quite well, and she managed to beat Judith yesterday in 2 games. That was a very good clearance from Amani.
Yeah. I don't think Jane's got to shoot out. She's pretty much behind the hoop. No, she's got it away nicely.
It looks online. Yeah.
She was. Very good shot.
In Block G, we have Noha on 2 wins, Begona on 2 wins, and Virginia on 2 wins so far.
You call it Begonia? It's called it Begonia. I don't know.
Begonia?
Yeah, I don't know which is right actually. She's never corrected me.
I do apologise if my
She's never
pronunciations
corrected me,
are wrong.
I'm not saying I'm right. She's never corrected me. She was walking by yesterday and Paz was playing. So I asked her to actually give the correct pronunciation of Paz's full name because Peter and I were struggling with it. And she did so. And she also did a short greeting to her friends from Spain while she was here. It was very useful.
And that was a nice shot from Jane, and hit that gently but sent the ball and moved it out the way. I think Amani's just going to play back into position and keep the pressure on. Nice shot. Is that wide from red?
I think so.
I think it's blocked from red. In Block H, Jamie Gumbrell is on 2 wins. Sarah Hanning is on 2 wins so far. They obviously had a couple of byes yesterday. They'll be catching up.
Yes, of course, with this format of 56 players and 8 blocks, you're going to have 8 people on a bye round every round, aren't you? It's one from each block.
Yes.
So there's 8 people. Quite a long wait when it's your bye round. In fact, I believe one of them yesterday wasn't playing till the 4th session.
Yeah.
unfortunately you couldn't have the 64 format and put it all on at one venue. You would have to go and include another club, such as Compton maybe, down at Eastbourne, not too far away. Something amusing has come on the screen. Andrew's laughing. Perhaps you'll enlighten us in a minute.
Oh well, sorry, I'm giggling. I'm trying to keep quiet because we're on Hoop 2 here. But I'll just say good morning to Mohammed, Kevin, David, Nicholas, and Nicholas Denizo. Giggling because he has said that the pronunciation of begonia is slightly off. So is it begonia? I do apologise, but he says, but it is okay. And he then said, should have chosen another name.
I know Nicholas. I've played him several times. And, good morning, Nicholas.
Good morning, Nicholas.
Hope you're well out there in Spain. I understand from your mother you probably should be working and not following too much of this croquet stuff.
I think Jane. Maybe that was commentator's curse, as they say.
Yeah.
Just talk about how well she does clear those.
Yeah.
And then
Ready with power. Very nice, powerful shot there. Clean hoop.
Nicholas has replied with a couple of laughing, crying faces. So I'm quite sure he'd much rather be playing croquet than working, like most of us. So 1-1. That looks like a nice weight from Jane. Kane has just held up. That's what we talked about, being a bit slower than yesterday. I think yesterday that would have rolled into perfect position.
Yes, I think we sometimes say they're stopping quickly today.
The mine has gone slightly deeper with yellow, maybe looking for the clearance, also in a runnable position.
Right behind the black ball from here, it looks as though it's made it very difficult to do anything useful with the black, doesn't it?
I think it's probably stymied from hitting yellow as well.
Yeah. Yes, I think it's one of those you don't want, where you get one of your balls too close to the other one.
That's a nice shot.
And
I think that's a lovely touch. Getting between black and blue.
Amy Gumbel's just cleared the ball over the barrier, or just onto the long grass on ball one, but she's replaced that. Now Jane has got to have the thinking cap on here. She doesn't know quite what to do with this one. She's walking all round it.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is. If she's blocking the yellow, is there any benefit in just deeming the shot with black, letting yellow play, and it might not successfully clear both balls?
The other option is to play black very gently onto blue if it's blocking yellow.
Yeah.
To stop the big clearance on blue, because
the
inertia would send black, keep blue there to clear red.
True. Yes, that's.
But that's quite a difficult shot.
I think that's well worth considering, Andrew.
Oh, I think Imani wants this watched.
Yes. Francis is coming out.
I'm not sure if Jane's going to go hard or it's going to go
Well,
softly.
Francis hasn't had time to get get markers down. She's asked Jane to pause, I think, asking her what type of shot she's going to take.
I think if you're playing it gently, it's fine, but if she's thinking of going firm, then it's right to have it watched. Because the black could ricochet back off blue into the mallet, cause a double tap, which would then be a fault.
Lots of filming is encouraged these days, but I've rarely seen it done.
I saw you doing that. Was it yesterday? On one of the shots?
No,
you asked someone to film from the other side.
Well, no, I wasn't asking Begonia to film. I was suggesting she watch the yellow ball from behind the player, because if I went the side where I could see both balls, I was casting a shadow across the ball. So I went this side. We actually had a sunny day yesterday. I went this side and asked Begonia. Well, there was no other referee handy, so I asked if there was a player referee available. I just wanted someone to watch the yellow ball, but there was no contact on it.
Okay.
But Begonia was going to film it, but it wasn't really necessary. I don't think she intended to move it quite like that. Was she actually trying to play it up to the yellow, or, as you suggested, just getting...
I think from the pace she tried to hit it, I think she was trying to play it closer to the yellow. To try and...
Now she could move both balls, couldn't she, with her, and get the angle right. Yeah. Could lose both control of both black and blue. No, she hasn't. She just nudged it up. The referee may be needed again.
Going back to Chris Williams's rain radar, I can tell you that the Hobbsy rain radar can tell you that it is now officially raining at Southwick.
It is, yeah. And we're about to find out how waterproof
the umbrella is.
Sunshade is, basically. We have a sunshade you might expect to see in a pub garden. Look at it.
And of course, this means that if it does continue to rain, the lawns will get slightly slower.
Now the
grips of mallets could get slightly wet.
Tournament referees come out now. I think Francis has taken a break and Ian's stepped into the chair in that corner. He's marking up now for... various spectators and players now donning items of waterproof clothing.
Mm-hmm. They needed another referee, maybe. They're looking around.
Not sure.
I think it might be useful. One to watch behind and one to watch just in front, because like you were saying on the shot you watched yesterday, there could be contact with the yellow as she plays behind.
She's got Francis,
and then she's got to watch for any faults.
Francis to come out. Jane's gone off to get a waterproof coat.
Yeah, she'll be back in a moment. Yeah, so because of the positions of the balls, with yellow, black and blue, I think Jane is trying to do something about maybe playing it firmly, or trying to promote black closer to red to stop the hoop, or having the hoop shot. But because the position of yellow and black and blue being so close to each other,
well, Ian hasn't got one of his other referees immediately available. He's got Francis Lowe, who's a very experienced AC player who plays DC as well, who is going to watch one aspect of the shot for him. Probably watching the yellow ball, I would suspect, while Ian watches the contact on black. Yeah, we're fine.
We're okay at the moment.
We're okay.
From a electrical point of view, do you want us to move inside?
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
fine. Don't really care, it's fine. It'll be alright.
Okay.
As long as you guys are fine.
Yeah. No, I don't know what happened there. Whether Ian's accepted that shot.
So it could move you if it gets worse.
Excuse me, can I put my stuff here?
Are we doing okay?
We're doing okay at the moment.
Good.
Yeah.
Because we had words from our director of operations, producer.
If it gets heavier and a bit more torrential, we might have to take a break just
Yeah.
to set up a shelter or something.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think it's okay. So I take it that was
Well, it
the
wasn't
clean,
fault. I don't think it was.
but she didn't quite get.
Well, I don't know if it was faulted or not, but obviously it wouldn't be beneficial for the balls to be replaced if it was faulted.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether it was faulted or not.
No, it's a good hoop from the Marnie.
We'll find out from Ian at a later stage. Yes, there would be no advantage if a fault had been called. There'd be absolutely no advantage in Hermione having the balls replaced. Yeah, we're better off on the non-scoring side of the hoop as far as he was concerned.
Black's gone a bit too far there, I think.
Yes. I'll find out on that once I see Francis is there.
Okay. So a slight pause at the moment. Arnie's now also getting the rain gear on. Like I said, it started to rain slightly heavier than it was just now.
Okay. Well, I've just spoken to Francis, who assisted Ian in refereeing that shot. It wasn't called a fault.
It wasn't a fault.
No, it wasn't a fault.
That's gone a bit too far. Well, I think that was in response to the rain, I'm going to try and hit it a bit firmer, and it's just managed to go. Blue and black have just gone a bit too far. And Amani's now got two balls in front of the hoop, quite close together.
We don't have a peg on hoop 3.
I think it was taken off. I can see it on the ground.
Yeah.
It was taken off when the shot was watched. Just a nice shot from Jane. She's managed to move both red and yellow a bit further away from the hoop. I think that's all she could do there. Well,
According to my following the forecasting on the national radio and television, as I do, this will be the only dodgy day of the week, I believe.
yes, it's supposed to get nicer
Yeah.
as the week
Yeah. I know
progresses.
most people prefer certain weather apps these days, but as my son would say, I'm a bit of a dinosaur.
I think Amani's going to try and run the hoop, and if not, clear blue. Very nice.
we now have a clip back on hoop 3.
I don't think they've realised that the
Yeah.
clip was on the floor.
I think that's a clip there.
Yeah. They might see it when they go
Yeah.
get up to hoop 6. So Armani managed to not only clear blue there, but run straight through the hoop as well. So we're now
Yeah, very good shot.
3-1 to Armani.
And
Yes, it was a great shot.
the,
I thought,
the
from where it was.
tenacious style of Jane, which Andrew's spoken about before, doesn't seem to be bearing fruits for her in this particular match at the moment, does
No.
it? But ranking-wise, that was to be expected, really.
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab my waterproof coat, Andrew.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Armani is top seed in her block, so. Okay then.
Yeah. We've now got steady drizzling rain at the moment.
I think this is going to be a clearance on black. It's a good clearance, sending black to the boundary, keeping red about 4 or 5 yards from the hoop.
Just going along the south boundary of Lawn 1 as some of the players arriving for later games. I see Gabrielle Higgins and Rachel G amongst them.
I think Vanessa.
Yep. Gabrielle was a much more recent convert to GC. She played very little of it until the last couple of years. Yeah, she got interested in playing the championships, and she's part of my Sussex Counties team, along with Liz Farrow. Actually, the ladies are 50% of our team.
She was playing really well. I was watching her play yesterday up on one of the other lawns, and she was making these hoops look decidedly easy.
Yeah.
I thought. Running them with confidence and up to the next couple of hoops, and she just looked like she was having a lot of fun. Just had a question about, do we know the order of play for the live streaming lawn? We don't know, but I will try and find out for you.
Perhaps if Alison's listening, she will be able to.
I'm sending her a message.
Yes, she's being messaged by Andrew now. See what the next match is likely to be. The few spectators we have are gravitating towards the shelters, the marquee and the other little shelter that was erected for the opening ceremony.
And it's understandable.
Yeah.
No one likes to be out in the rain. Although I don't like sitting in the rain, but I'm more than happy to play in the rain. I find
I played
it calms my mind a bit, and I get a lot more focused. And I think it's because I know I have to grip the mallet because it might slip, and and have to make certain on the shots because the balls tend to skid a bit. So I'm quite happy to play in the rain.
I think as long as you've got good waterproofs, it's not too bad. I played in the East Dorset Open a few weeks ago, and it was a torrential rain by the end of the Saturday, the first day, and a lot of people's waterproofs just weren't up to the job. I fortunately, although they're not white, have some very good waterproofs. And unless you're at Hurlingham, I don't think anybody's worried about the colour of your waterproofs these days.
Yes. I think my philosophy, I tend to play, when I'm playing croquet, I play in shorts because I'm going to have to get wet anyway. I'm going to have to dry myself anyway, and I just tend to prefer playing in shorts, whether it's rain or shine. Obviously, nearer the winter months, I'd probably wear something a bit warmer and a bit more waterproof. However, I find it gets in the way for me and it puts me off.
I'm the opposite to you. I never wear shorts. Well, the Egyptian men don't either, do they? Long white trousers.
Going back to the order of play for the live stream lawn, well, we currently got Amani and Jane. Next up is Nabil versus Higgins, and then after that it'll be Gumbrel versus Smith.
Oh, that'll be good. I look forward to seeing Gabrielle play on here. So I didn't have an opportunity to see her yesterday. I was refereeing on a lawn some way away from where she was.
So that will be the next up on this lawn will be Maram Nabil and Gabrielle Higgins, and then after that we should have Jamie Gumbrel versus Louise Smith.
Both good matches to look forward to, I think. Well, they all are really, aren't they?
Chris Williamson's put in there, shorts from the beginning of April to the end of October up here in Cumbria. Man after my own heart. Currently Amani is 3-1 up. We're on hoop 5, and at the moment it's just been a big contest for control of the hoop. Amani, Jane has just missed clearing red away, so I think Amani's probably going to take this on.
No, she's off for the mallet again. We do like firm hoops, the Egyptians.
Yes. And it's a longish hoop, so you want to hit it fairly confidently at the hoop. I think it's better to have them firm than loose.
Well, the drizzle seems to have abated at the moment, Andrew.
Yeah.
Not too bad at all. People are not discarding their waterproofs yet, but there's some action around us. Not everybody is in waterproofs. Well, a majority are, I must say. To go 4-1 if successful, isn't it?
Very nice.
It was.
Well, that's straight through to the boundary.
I mean, Jane is being a bit overwhelmed at the moment. Power of the Egyptian player. as opposed to Jane's tenacious approach. I think the power play is winning at the moment.
And that can happen. That's a good shot from Jane. It's in a good position, fairly close to the hoop. Probably going to force the clearance with red, I think. And looking back up the lawn, yellow might have a tough time trying to get rid of black from where it is. There's a hoop 5 and possibly the peg in the way.
Yeah.
So I would expect yellow to come up into a good hoop position, and then Amani probably using red to try and clear black if she can. And from Jane's point of view, I take it she'll try and get blue into a good hoop position as well, and keep control of the hoop.
Frances standing next to us with a marker. You're going to be Rachel's marker?
Pointer, yes.
Rachel's pointer. Yes, as we mentioned yesterday, Rachel has asked for
Well, that's fine.
pointer, which is, as we said yesterday, quite understandable.
Mm-hmm.
I was having a chat with her yesterday. She's due in November.
Okay. So we have two ladies playing that I know of who are
Yeah.
pregnant at the moment, and the referees in Southwick have been appointing markers and I suppose ball boys and ball girls.
Poor girls.
To help put the balls back on so they don't have to do too many exercise or bending over.
Yeah.
Quite rightly so.
Right. The rain has cleared at the moment. Actually, won't be back for a while. The dark cloud's gone more east, and it's a little bit lighter looking west.
Good shot.
Excellent shot. Yeah.
She is playing very well this morning. She's hit those very consistently all morning.
We were just comparing their ranking grades, and she's a strong favourite to win this.
She is the
was
top
o-
seed in this block.
She was over 2,400, as opposed to Jane was just over 2,100.
Jane went for the clearance on yellow and just missed.
Who's Rachel going to be playing, Francis? Have you? Right. That should be a good
And
game.
Amani's decided to keep control of the hoop by stop shotting blue away and keeping yellow in a hoop runnable position.
I see that clip has been removed. I didn't see it being picked up, Andrew, but the clip we saw on the
Which was
ground
on the
there,
ground.
it's gone. So one of them obviously spotted it. Has removed it.
Good shot.
Well done, Jane. Nice clearance.
And again, Chris Clark was talking about this yesterday. Jane's cleared that with enough pace to send it further away from the hoop, but still keep blue, her own ball, close enough to the hoop.
Yeah.
in case she needs to clear something again.
Probably the next
Rather than
shot.
hitting it as hard as possible and then ending up on the boundary with the long shot, hoping for the clearance. One of the ladies plays here, Helena, from Finland. She's got 2 mascots which she brings with her to all her tournaments whenever she plays all over the world. And they're 2 small, fluffy penguins, not real, which she calls Hoop and Mallet. And she's dying for them to be seen somewhere on TV at some point over the live streaming events. But for those of you who do know her, know that those travel with her everywhere she goes. Yesterday they were near Lawn 1, sitting on someone's hat, and sometimes they end up in the trees or somewhere else.
Tried to get one up on one of the flagpoles yet, haven't we?
So Jane was trying to go for the block. Didn't quite get it.
Hoop check again.
A little of a hoop shake. I think for me, given where blue and black are, you've got to try and run this hoop because you'll have the advantage of the next hoop. Because black can't play towards hoop 7 and blue's got a tight shot towards hoop 7. Good hoop. Yeah. Now you might not be able to see it on camera, but Jane cannot play close to hoop 7. She's got to go at an angle, probably off towards the boundary somewhere. A bit deeper than she would have liked. And that's a good shot. It's keeping the pressure on. Very good shot. Nearly a brilliant shot.
One roll too far for the ideal position.
You might not have been able to see it on camera, but that was she had to just miss the wire of the hoop to get that ball anywhere close from hoop 6. And she maybe 2 rolls too far, but a good effort.
Yeah.
Nicholas has asked about any results, so just a couple of results which have come in, most recent. Just wait for the motorcycles to go past. Garda Karam beat Helena Janssen 7-4 and 7-4 both games.
Perhaps we should just hold a minute.
Thank you.
Unlucky was that jump shot.
I'll continue talking in a moment. Just keep quiet because they're right in front of us at the moment.
Lovely hoop by Omani with the yellow ball.
All the way
Shot
up.
there.
Yeah, nice and strong.
And it's brightening up a little bit here.
Yeah, might get a little bit of sun. Touch wood.
Have you got any more results for Nicholas?
Begonia Gomez beat Christina Brandenburg 7-2 and 7-3. Pauline Salib beat Ashley Cook 7-3, 7-3. And any other result I can see which is coming today is Kathy Brown beat Kate McLaughlin 7-6 in their first game.
Radio or phone?
Got a phone in my pocket.
Is it doing anything? Is it listening?
You're getting interference on it.
I can put my phone away if you want.
No, it's fine. Look at the onions.
Another powerful clearance by Omani at the far end there.
Sending blue at far away.
According to Alison, we are getting some sort of interference, electrical interference.
From a radio from somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Is that showing up on your screen there?
No.
Heidi? No. I don't know how she's identified that quite, but obviously it's picking it up down there.
So I've switched my phone off a little bit just in case it's that, but I will check it every now and again for other results. Patricia's just put in the chat that the Penguins were photographed with Mary Berry at the opening ceremony and Digby a hedgehog, which was also photographed for Facebook.
Remarkable
It's a
cake.
nice clearance from
The
Jane.
opening ceremony, wasn't it?
Yes.
Produced by our 89-year-old member, Peter Goldsmith. Very recent to croquet, he's only taken it up in the last 2 years.
Oh wow.
Apparently lost his wife. He's a brother of Pam Gooders, who's Pam and Gerald have been members here for many years, long before I was. And my brother was a bit lost after losing his wife, and they suggested he tried some croquet, and he's taken to it. And he's comes and plays one-day competitions and everything. So, as we've said, it's a sport for all ages.
I think it's a great sport. Anyone can play it. It's a very inclusive sport. And like you say, it's a sport for all ages. Sometimes wish a lot of younger players would be playing, but in some parts of the world, the youngsters are getting interested.
Of course, most youngsters, as I see it from the English point of view, most youngsters are inclined to play sports. Look at sports where there's big money involved, i.e. football, tennis, golf, and then right at the bottom of the list, croquet. If you are good at sport, you're going to make that your life. You're not going to be drawn to croquet. It's also, your peers aren't drawn to croquet. It's another
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
All youngsters are football and cricket.
But on the converse, I do think that not everybody is interested in playing football or
No.
rugby and things like that. So it's a nice sport for other people,
Yeah.
other youngsters to pick up and learn.
I was never
Especially
attracted.
GC.
As a youngster, I was never attracted to the winter sports. I went towards cricket as a youngster. Not very good at it, but I enjoyed attempting to play.
So after a bit of a clearance battle, Jane has managed to get both the balls around hoop 8 in some control. She's just put blue, looks like approximately a foot in front of hoop 8, with black a bit further behind. With possibly clearing yellow. I think Armani might be going for a big clearance shot here.
What, on the black?
Yes.
Yeah, well, she's got to be on the black, I think, isn't it? And,
I would be aiming for black.
I don't think she can get it blue, and that wouldn't really be any good because black would still be there.
Yeah.
It's got to be on the black. Oh, well, she's also moved the yellow ball. She's moved the black ball, but she's also moved the yellow ball.
It was a bit unlucky, but
it wasn't what she wanted to do. She'd have rather moved the black ball.
I'm unsure where the blue is on the wire, but I mean, from where I'm looking, it looks like a foot out. If this is the case, I'd be sneakily maybe trying to play black. Interesting. I would be trying to put black.
And play up to, I think she's going to cuddle up, do you think, or she's going to clear? Clear. And she saw that.
I think she wants the red as far away as possible, and she obviously feels that blue is runnable and can't be cleared by red. I probably would have erred on the can't be cleared by yellow. I think I would have been a bit more cautious and played black between blue and yellow to make certain.
It hasn't come through, has she?
No. I think she's trying to get the block in place so that if Jane
did
run the
close,
hoop, she wouldn't be able to get to the boundary. The picture tells it all. So it looks like Jane's ball wasn't a foot in front. It must be much closer to the hoop than we can see from here.
Jane's asking for a referee.
Yeah.
Who seem to have all disappeared at the moment. Where are all you referees?
Nice. Referee.
No one covering the court. Ian said he had 6 available today. Here it comes. Ian's coming.
Ian's coming. Yep.
Yes, I have been refereeing, but when I spoke to Ian this morning, he said he had 6 already available today, so I don't think we're needed at the moment, but they seem to have dispersed into other areas.
That makes sense what Jane did there then. She cleared red to the boundary, and I take with her black ball because blue was a lot closer to the hoop. And I think she's tried to clear red so it doesn't have a shot at blue next, or more difficult shot at blue. If she doesn't run the hoop.
Jane is obviously going to attempt to run this hoop, I think, because just putting it in the jaws, it would be...
I'll give it a go, trying to run the hoop. But I think it's right to have it watched. It's a bit close.
Doesn't go through. Yellow's going to get it out.
Well, not. Well, yellow's in a good position to clear it next.
And
as long as Armani can actually clear black.
Yeah, it's just because black will go for yellow otherwise.
Yeah.
But,
and to be fair, Armani's been hitting these dead centre for most of the match.
We've just got the Egyptian on lawn 2 backed onto the lawn to stalk their ball, but didn't interfere with the game going on lawn 1.
We talk about clearing the right angles. Marnie's done a good clearance there. She's left her ball near the closer boundary and sent Jane's black quite far into the lawn up towards the peg, leaving her a long clearance back on yellow. And even if she does clear it. Okay. Oh, it's gone too far.
Yeah.
I think Jane was forfeiting blue there, trying to get black in hoop position. Unfortunately, it's just rolled too far.
Blue has been cleared well down towards us. We're in
If I was Jane, I'd be putting this back in hoop position wide from yellow, which is the natural shot. She's got. Slow down. Slow down.
I think she's okay.
That's all right.
So Armani is probably going to go for the clearance on blue straight away, do you think?
Yes, looking at the way she's asked Jane to move out of her eyesight,
Yeah.
I think that's about right. And I think that's the correct call here because yellow can't deal with it.
Again, she's done
Once again.
perfect clearance. Sent it right to the west boundary. About 2 yards down from the centre line.
And leaving
Okay.
red between the boundary and the hoop, ready for another clearance if needed.
So, giving it some thought, contemplating what her best shot will be here. So as one option would be clear yellow away. Now she'd be on the wrong side of the hoop with black, but she would be perhaps in a useful position. Would you consider that one, Andrew?
It's possible, but I think taking position maybe slightly left of hoop 8
Yeah.
is a good one because even if Armani tries to clear it, she can't get hoop position with red.
But then there's the danger of red clearing black, isn't there?
Yeah,
Unless you can get blue exactly in the right place.
did that go through? Oh, yeah. Not sure if that's gone through.
No, she's
They're
asked,
asking a ref to come and have a look.
come and check.
Yeah, just to check whether it's gone all the way through. Obviously, yellow's come through the hoop from the opposite side,
France is in an enormous raincoat. Now it's stopped raining.
and if it hasn't gone all the way through, it changes things. It means she can't run the hoop. But if it has gone all the way through, it puts her in a commanding position.
France is doing the correct thing and looking at it from both sides. And of course the referees are not allowed to use any equipment as aids these days. It has to be purely by sight. And if it's too close to call, you call it has gone through. That is, if there's...
Okay.
That's the latest update this year. Now, we aren't sure which way that's been called, but Francis has made a decision on it.
I didn't see her nodding or shaking her head, so I don't know.
No. Right, expecting a clearance on black here.
Yep.
Oh, maybe another positional now. I don't think it is.
If it is positioned, then I think yellow isn't through.
Yeah. Let's position that so that yellow, she's allowing for yellow to pop through, to be cleared by blue, and then she clears blue with red.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Jane is going to try and jump.
It's obviously not through because Jane's going for the jump,
Yeah.
and I would be doing the same here, I think, because it means if you do get the jump,
Yeah.
you've got the hoop, and then yellow's in a difficult position.
But no, it's not worked. Jane hasn't succeeded with her jumps today. I think she's
No,
had about
just-
4 now.
Just been slightly off. haven't
Yeah,
they?
she's had the wire every time. But you get days like that.
Now, if yellow was on the right side of the hoop and Dean has gone through, you would have seen a clip go on top of hoop 8. So that's another good stop shot clearance. I think Jane will probably just come back into hoop position. I'd be trying to get a spot somewhere behind red so it couldn't be cleared by yellow.
So you'd be a bit
It's gone a
further.
bit too far.
Yes. We wanted to be on that side of hoop, but not as far over as that.
And as I say, it's always great discussing what to do from the sidelines.
Well, you never make a mistake, do you? I'm just leaning your way because Jamie was casting behind me.
That's fine.
She's quite a pronounced cast when Jamie's playing. Okay, another centre ball clearance one out. Marnie, she's really good at those.
Mm-hmm. Been solid all day with those. Jane will have to do the same here.
And that's quite successful from Jane.
And let's return to a good position. And I think if red is runnable here, it wouldn't surprise me if Amani maybe cleared blue but further away with yellow.
Possibly a little bit longer than she intended, you
Yeah,
think?
that went a bit further. Yep, that's what I thought might happen. I think with black being that far, red's in a runnable position, Amani's going to go and try and clear blue to the boundary, I would have thought. And she could get the natural deflection towards the next hoop as well. No. The other side of the ball. That's a bit unlucky. So Jane has a long shot coming back across to hoop 8. Unsure whether she's going to go for the clearance or lay up. I think I would be going for the clearance here. It looks like it's just missed.
This is going to be hoop shot again.
Good hoop. So that makes it 6.
That's the game.
So game. 7.
Very good shot.
7, yeah.
Very good game.
Good game. So Marnie goes through 2-0.
Yeah. Jane never really got into that second game, did she?
No, didn't get.
Her
didn't
style
quite
of
get
play
going.
was overwhelmed by the power of Armani, I think.
And to be fair, when your opponent is hitting those balls quite centrally all the time, it can get a bit demoralising, I suppose is the word. But well played to Armani. Well played to Jane for not giving up. You could see she was still trying to clear the balls and all that. But I think that puts Armani on 3 wins now in that block.
Yes, she's probably the block leader. Yes, she's the highest rank in the block. Rachel on lawn 2 is just attempting to run hoop 4, which would give her a 3-1 lead if successful. It wasn't successful.
No, let's come straight back out.
We haven't got any cameras on lawn 2. Are the camera
No,
appearance?
I think Debbie's turned the
She
camera
turned it
around to
around,
lawn
yeah.
2 for the moment.
She is, as there's no action on. Perhaps someone could let us know if you're seeing what's on lawn 2 at the moment. If you are, we'll try and add a little bit of commentary on that one whilst we're
While we're
between
waiting
games.
for
Yeah.
the next
It
game
looks
to
as though
start.
Debbie's turned the camera around. I'm sure she's focusing on lawn 2.
It looks like it.
Which is at the moment is Rachel's leading 2-1.
She's just been cleared to the far boundaries.
Well, not quite the boundary. She's up towards hoop 2. I think she.
Someone's popped in the chat. Reese has said that it's a bit disappointing from Jane's point of view. I think she would have liked to have given Armani a better game. But Armani was playing quite well, and Armani is the top seed in the block, so if there is one game you can afford to go down to, it's probably that one, and still regroup and focus. I think Jane did win some of her other games in the block yesterday, so she possibly still in with a chance.
Yeah. I think the Egyptian just signalled to the ball marker there, suggesting they would like the hoop tapped down on lawn 2, but as we've already mentioned, players are encouraged to do their own tapping, and she's had to go off and get the mallet herself.
Yeah, so before this game, Jane had already had 2 wins, and so did Armani. So she's still in with a chance. Yeah.
Jane will be disappointed she didn't put up a little bit better performance in the second game and get a few more hoops. Played a better game than the first game, I think.
I'll take full responsibility for that.
Yes, Andrew did suggest she's getting back into this match now, and from that point.
Yeah, and talking about how tenacious and how solid she is and hitting normally, and so that was the typical commentator's curse, I think.
Commentator's curse, and now on lawn 2 there was another attempt. Who's the opponent Rachel's got on lawn 2? Do we know that, Andrew?
I'm not sure. They are showing lawn 2 at the moment. So if you are still watching on the live stream, because there's no game on lawn 1 at the moment, we've switched across to lawn 2, which is...
We haven't got a full view of lawn 2, but the area they're in at the moment, we can see what's going on.
And Gabriella and Maram have just walked onto court 1, and they're probably going to get a 5 to 10 minute warm up. I think it's 10 minutes because they haven't played today yet.
Yes, it's 10 minutes. Officially, it's 10 minutes for your first game of the day, and 5 minutes for subsequent games. It can be rather strange because with the bye rounds, you can be playing your first game of the day in the third or the fourth session.
Yes.
I'm interested to watch Gabrielle. She's one of my team members going to the inter-counties at Cheltenham the weekend after next. And so she's a fairly recent convert to GC. She's very much an AC player,
Mm-hmm.
who's in the last couple of years got interested in playing a bit of GC. I think when she first started, she was quite surprised by the fact that GC players were going for much longer hoops than she was accustomed to.
Yes.
But
yes.
she's taken that on board and now plays very well.
Well, as you know, Richard, when I started playing again after a number of years break
Yeah.
due to my children growing up and their sports taking preference, although I had played a bit of GC, I'm predominantly an AC player. I wanted to get back into the GC or the golf croquet too, and I found a huge leap from when I previously played to now on the tactics, the strength,
indeed.
the hoop running.
I often comment to Mark Hamilton, who's joined about a year before I did, took up croquet, how the standard of play has gone up
Yes.
during our time in it.
Yes.
You know, very much so. I mean, a few years ago it was all Reg Bamford, but these days in golf croquet he has got challenges.
Yes.
Definitely got
yes.
challenges. And it was basically dominated by Reg and Stephen, the British Opens here for years. Apart from one year with an Egyptian came over. But
You've got some. Yeah, now you can just see the standard is much higher. There's a lot of people playing at that high standard with the big long clearances, the consistent strong hoop running, and people of all ages, are playing as well. We've got some youngsters coming through.
we've got young Jack Good now, who's
Yes.
playing extremely well.
And Aston.
Yeah. Jack
And then you've got the likes of Matthew Essick and Blake Fields.
That's right.
who,
Well, when I played Jack, there was a 60-year age gap between and at Cheltenham early in the year, I was very pleased to take a game off him in the block.
and of course you've got Jamie from Australia and Jessica Bullen from New Zealand, who are playing here this week, and they're looking quite good and consistent as well. So it's nice to see the standard being that high and younger players coming through.
I would imagine Jessica's probably the youngest player here at the moment. I don't actually know her age. Do you know?
No,
Andrew?
no.
I think she's younger than Jamie. Jamie was here in 2019. I'm not sure if she was here in 2022. I remember in 2019.
But it is good to see they're coming through, and they're coming through at a high standard, if that makes any sense.
Well, it's still testing over hoop 4 on lawn 2. The camera's been refocused now on lawn 1 for the warm-up. I think that's changed direction down there, don't you? It looks as though it's been moved back onto lawn 1.
At the moment, I think it's facing me.
Well,
or us.
Yeah, well, just proves that we are actually here. We're not commentating remotely by Zoom. And, this morning,
Yes, the camera is on. We have to wave. Hi, Mum.
in case my wife's watching, I'll wave as well. She's probably got better things to do. Not being a follower of croquet.
Yeah, it was a good shot by Rachel, saying that she's favourite for the hoop. She's in control of the hoop. Both red and yellow are in front of hoop 4. She's just managed to stop shot, blew away with yellow. The opponent has got black fairly close to hoop 4, probably about a yard to the left of hoop 4 on the inside boundary.
Yeah.
So I take it that will be set up for clearing red.
So,
You're back in movement.
yeah. In front of me on lawn 1 we have Gabrielle warming up. Running a nice smooth hoop in a warm up there. Still keeping track of lawn 2, as it's still just in warm up mode here on lawn 1. Francis is chasing a seagull off the lawn. Good old Sussex seagulls. Adopted as the nickname for their Brighton and Hove Albion Football Club, the Seagulls. Rachel's in excellent position now to run. Hoop 4, but she's gone away looking for the mallet to firm up the hoop. She's still looking for that 3-1 lead if this is successful. Yes, Rachel now leads 3-1 on lawn 2. This is the first game of their match, and it's the second game on court 2 today. Second match, shall we say, to be correct. Quite a useful black was put sent over, and yellow will be trying to clear that. But it was a miss from Rachel there, so it's now a strong position for blue and black. The second ball coming in, very well placed as well. So we now have a 3-1 lead to Rachel here, Andrew.
What's that?
Rachel's leading 3-1 on
3-1
on 2,
okay.
But her opponent has 2 balls well positioned. Rachel missed with the first attempted clearance with the yellow ball, so she needs to do something here.
That's a good clearance.
But there's still a
But black's
a
in a
shot for
runnable
black.
position.
I think before this one starts, I should leave you for a minute, Andrew, and I'll be back.
That's a good hoop by Rachel's opponent. So it's now 3-2 to Rachel, and she's moving towards hoop 6, which I cannot see from where I am at the moment. See a couple of things coming through on the chat. Thank you, but with the commentary, we try our best. Lester, I'll let Richard know about the gumboots when he gets back. And are we staying locally? I take it we're talking about the seagulls, which were on lawn 1 just now. I'm not staying locally. I'm up in the Kent area, but I was down a couple of months ago for the Opens, the British Open here, and I stayed in Shoreham, and I can agree. I think from about 4 in the morning you can hear the seagulls squawking and squeaking and carrying on. It doesn't seem to stop. Seems like we are back on lawn 1. It looks like Gabrielle and Maram are about to get ready, and they've played their first couple of shots. Reese, I'm afraid no, I do not remember playing against Dixie. I myself played a lot of croquet in South Africa many years ago, and then moved over here in about 2000. 2001, and played for a number of years before having 2 lovely children. And I've recently started playing again in the last 4 years in both formats, AC and GC. Gabrielle's been a bit unlucky on the first hoop. She went to move yellow with blue and has peeled yellow through hoop 1, giving Maram the first hoop in the first game.
Maram's just played a cuddle shot, has she, up to the black with red there.
Sneaky. It's a nice little shot.
Could just deem it and
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah. But I think it's because of where. Yeah. It might be worth deeming, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't see how far yellow is through the hoop.
No.
I don't know if yellow has got a shot up to the next hoop.
I think I might be tempted to deem it. It might become just a 2-ball game for a while if you did that, because I think it'd be a succession of deems with the black and the red.
I think she's just tapped it
She's just played a shot, yeah.
closer to the red.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're touching. We can't see from here.
No.
And they are looking to see if it's in contact. Of course, if they're not in contact,
Yeah.
it's going to be a very, very difficult shot.
They seem to have agreed a position with that, and this does look as though she hasn't got much of a shot with yellow.
If they are in contact, you can then play an association roll or
Yeah.
drive, moving both balls up. But if they are not in contact, it's
She's now
completely
attempting to hamper the blue ball, we're
Very
going to end
interesting
up
start.
with a bit of a stalemate situation if we're not careful here. Become very tactical.
Yes.
It's probably too close to jump over it, so I think Gabrielle's going to play out to the side a bit here. Come down the lawn. Maybe she's going to cut the yellow ball across the lawn.
No,
No,
she's
it's
just
up
going
there.
to miss it, and play it up. And I think that's possibly the best thing to do in that
Yeah.
way. And again, Chris is a big advocate of it at this level of GC. You'd rather go to the near side boundary
Yeah.
rather than inside
Yeah.
of the hoop. That way, you're clearing your opponent to the
So,
far side,
Yeah, so you want to be clearing your opponent to what we would call the long boundary,
the long boundary.
as
Yeah.
opposed to the short boundary. Yeah.
This looks like it might be a 2-ball game, I think,
Yes, that's
at the moment.
very quickly got into a stalemate with red and black. There's no particular advantage to either of them advancing the game from there. But Gabrielle is
Interesting.
playing hers as opposed to just deeming. Um,
And that's a good shot.
very
from
good
her,
shot with
Very
yellow.
nice. Yeah.
and Gabrielle's
Threatening it close to the hoop,
Gonna have to come
probably
down.
forcing the clearance with blue.
she's going to have to clear that one.
Yeah.
Anything else would be disastrous with the other two balls tied up as they are. Miss is fatal.
That's
Not,
an uncharacteristic miss from Gabrielle.
not good, Gabrielle, because it does mean probably just make it impossible for Black to do anything. She's tucked
Yeah.
right in behind it. She's got no
I
other
think
choice. She
That's,
can't even.
that's the correct shot.
She
You
can't even
get Black up to hoop
no,
3 now.
No, she can't do anything by getting the black off, taking off the red ball to go towards hoop 3. Not at all.
And
Gabrielle's
Gabrielle's just moved Black
played it
in front
again.
of red again,
This is going to be a
making sure.
hoop. Going to be a 2-hoop lead for Miriam already, I think. Yeah.
Good hoop. So Maram is now 2-0 up. And this is still going to be a 2-ball game. Blue's got the first shot towards hoop 3. I think it is imperative that you get this in hoop
Yeah.
position. And Black and Red are still in front of hoop 1, tightly
At
tucked up against each other at the
At
moment.
some point, someone is going to want to release those two balls up there. And it's a question of who's going to take it first. Who's going to take the option? Is there any point at the moment, Andrew? Would you release either of them, or would you leave them up there?
No. I'd leave. If I've got hoop position there, I think I would leave Black where it is.
Yeah.
Take my chance.
Miriam's walking all the way back to double check whether she wants to do anything up there, but she's
Yeah.
walking very slowly and obviously considering as she goes.
Yeah. Chris has just said he used to watch the Seagulls, aka Brighton and Hove, at the Goldstone ground in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I said, Wine Lakes replied they're a much better side by now. Yes, they are. They've been playing very well in the last couple of years.
Yeah. It took a little bit of a dip when Graham Potter, their manager, left and went to Chelsea, but subsequently they ended up playing just as well as Chelsea by the end of the season under their new manager.
And Sarah Patton's just replied to Patricia saying, Diggy's a mole,
Yeah, we
not a hedgehog. and Wine Lakes
we had a
said,
seagull.
I guess the clue's in the name.
You had a seagull wander onto the lawn too. If maybe when you took your short break, but I commented on the seagulls and mentioned they were adopted as the mascot of the Brighton and Hove and Albion Football Club. This is an excellent opportunity for Gabrielle to get the hoop back here.
And
Clearance
get up
by
to
yellow was missed by a few inches. You could see the distance there. She has also
And
got
you want to run this one
yeah,
nice and firmly,
Well
trying to
down.
get it up to hoop 4 if possible.
it's worth taking
Put all the pressure on.
worth taking a power shot on this time because she's also got the black down there. Is the insurance ball if necessary, and she has counted into the hoop quite forcefully. Thank you.
Chris has asked, how long can you deem for before it becomes like a stalemate?
There isn't strictly any limit on that. If all the balls are being deemed, and a referee could give them a limited number of shots to make some progress, and give them the option, if they still didn't do anything, he would insist on a penalty area restart.
Okay.
That would be a way out of it. But it generally does never come to that, because you can leave two balls deeming for a long period and you're still getting some action with the other ball, two balls. If you can make no progress at all, and no one's willing to give way, that's what a referee would do. And I've never had to do it, but that is the option out. If you did say, well, you've got 8 shots, if there's no progress been made, I will insist that all the balls are taken off the lawn to one of the penalty spots.
And that doesn't necessarily need to be progress with the dean balls, as long as progress is made with hoops.
Yeah, or attempting to progress, make the game flow, shall we say, and score the next two. If they're still just not really getting anywhere, you'd say, well, I'm going to insist on it. And invariably, if you did that, they would attempt to do something. Because it so much depends. If you the penalty area restart, it becomes a toss of a coin again. Whilst you don't change the ball colours, you do change the order of play. The winner of the toss plays the first ball in. The loser of the toss chooses which penalty area you can go from. Obviously, if it's down the centre, it doesn't really matter, but invariably most people would choose the one furthest away. So if the situation is as it is now, you bring them over to the penalty area on the west boundary. We have
I hope that answers that question. So the wine lake said if all the balls are deemed, what happens then? But then you'd go to that 8 shots. If nothing's progressed,
well,
restart.
I mean, I don't think there is strictly 8 shots. It would be at the referee's discretion.
Oh, okay.
You could say, I'll give you 4 shots, 8 shots to sort it out, basically. If you're just going to carry on deeming, you're all going to go off the lawn and play back, score this hoop from a penalty area.
Gabrielle's done very well from a very close angled hoop. She asked the referee to watch it, which is quite rightly so, but she's managed to run hoop 3 to about 2-3 yards near hoop 4, given a control of that hoop, which is what you kind of want when you are
bit to the east,
2-1 down.
bit to the east of the hoop, but it's a good position for clearing, very good position, because you can clear right across to the west boundary if if the opportunity arises.
Yeah. I think she was going to get fairly close to the hoop, if not in the jaws. It's just gone a bit too far. Reese is saying Higgins has shown a good example of how to play when you are behind, unlike Stokes during the recent Ashes.
So we have cricket fans joining croquet streaming as well.
I must admit, it was a great Ashes.
Is
I enjoyed
that,
watching it.
Is that Aston over there where I'm walking past up to? So,
Yeah, Aston's here,
Yeah.
and Stuart's here, and Louise has arrived. As much as I back South Africa when it comes to cricket and rugby and other things, I did enjoy watching the Ashes this year. It was really exciting from the perspective of both sides. As a neutral, it's wonderful to
Yeah.
watch that sort of cricket.
We were a little bit unlucky, I think, with the weather on one of occasions. It was interesting.
Gabriel
But,
Gomez.
I've followed Test cricket for a very long time. I can tell you the opening batsmen when I was a boy with Colin Cowdery and Peter Richardson playing for
Wow.
England. And I don't expect too many people on our streaming service will remember that. I
Now
remember-
Gabrielle's just played in front of hoop 4. I think she's blocked red, and I think black might be blocked as well. So Maram is trundled up, and I'm thinking Gabrielle will clear yellow here.
Yes, it's the obvious shot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Get yellow well away.
And that
It
is a
has
nice
done.
shot.
I'm not sure if he's got a wide position on it, but it's a good clearance.
Which is cleared with the hope as well, on the right side of the ball, so that black is in a good position for hoop 5
Yeah.
if she gets to run the hoop with blue. Doesn't look like it's wide from there, so I think Maram does have a chance of clearing. And she's
Yes.
managed to clear it.
Cleared.
Not dead
So,
centre, but
no.
long enough to make it a difficult hoop. And I think maybe to deter running the hoop, and maybe
think,
Gabrielle will
yeah,
just
she-
try and get
she
rid
just
of red now.
Cleared a bit of debris off the lawns. I think that's going to be a shot to clear the red ball.
Yeah.
And she's missed by a few inches. It's not
Very
we expect
uncharacteristic.
from
She's
Gabrielle.
normally quite consistent on those.
Yes.
She was yesterday.
She missed one down here, didn't she, on hoop 2, and she missed one up there. So it would be highly likely to be a 3-1 situation.
Yes, 3-1. However, black's in a good position.
Yes, but
And
black
it
got
came off yellow
there
earlier, so it
by
should be
clearing
able to stay there.
yellow. So now she's thinking, does she go for hoop or does she?
I go gently into the
Yeah.
jaws here. That's what I would be trying to do.
Definitely not trying to force it through the hoop. And she's fallen short of the hoop.
That's okay as well.
It's
because
good. Yeah.
It's close enough to
Yeah.
have a nice firm run through, getting towards hoop 6, and trying to claw your way back in.
Yeah.
think black can still see it?
Possibly, but red's got a target as well, hasn't it?
Yeah. So I'm thinking Gabrielle plays blue between red and black.
Yeah.
It's gone a bit too far.
A little bit too long.
But it is in hoop position. And it puts pressure on the clearance as well. But
Could it
because
quite possibly clear the yellow unintentionally? Here. Or the yellow and the black, of course.
Actually, that's a good point. Winelake's just said sometimes with a shot you can inadvertently leave an in off, so it's a good distance from Gabrielle. Yeah. If you aim for the jaws, like I was saying.
Yeah, it's true.
I think that shows my naivety as a GC player.
Oh, she's got lucky there.
He got lucky there.
It was a hand signal of
Talking about in-offs, Maram just went for the clearance on black and hit her own yellow and deflected off her yellow through the hoop.
She did offer a hand signal of apology to Gabrielle, but a point's a point.
Sometimes in this game things don't go your way.
No.
And I think it's one of those games.
Gabrielle has played a steady, controlled approach to hoop 6.
I think it's important when things like this are happening is to just make sure that you keep your mental mindset correct,
right.
and you keep playing your game and you keep putting the pressure on and trying to claw your way back in the game. No matter what happens, but just keep playing your game.
And of course, in a best of 3,
play through the odd things which are happening.
in a best of 3, you can go one game down and recover the match. And so Gabrielle again just unluckily hit the centre peg, although it could be that that's possibly blocking red. I don't think it is blocking the red. I think there's a gap between the peg and blue for the red to get through, unfortunately for Gabrielle. But when things are going your way, that would have bounced off the peg and been right between the red and the black.
Yes.
When things are not going your way, that sort of thing doesn't happen. Another
good hoop.
Very good hoop.
That's a great hoop from there.
Yeah. Gabrielle is under a lot of pressure now. One down. Just playing very steadily, very controlled, but she hasn't had any lucky breaks, really, has she?
Yeah.
Lucky breaks have gone with Marianne. And skillful play, of course.
I was watching her practice the other day, the day of the practice, and she wandered around to all the courts and made sure this is Mara.
Yeah.
Getting used to all the courts and running hoops on all the courts and practicing her jumps. So she.
Do we know her ranking offhand?
I'll see if I can look it up.
That's imposed.
She's been playing for a long time. She's been playing since about 8-9 years old.
Yeah.
And she won the Egyptian Federation Cup for this season, 22-23 season.
Yep.
And she's also won 2 women's national ranking tournaments and was second in the last one.
Well, she cleared the game, but didn't have the exceptional luck of running the hoop in off at that time. unfortunately, Gabrielle's missed another attempted clearance there. I've just set Andrew on a task of finding the ranking differences between these two ladies, and he's doing his Addy Saltzman bit now. For those of you who don't follow cricket, he does all the statistics and presides Jonathan Agnew with all the information he gives you in commentary.
Very nice.
Another nice hoop. Would it be two? No.
What's that?
This is turning into
One leg's just turned around and said, he's beaten me to it. Maram is number 25 with a grading of 2452. And Gabrielle for GC is ranking of 259 and is a GC rating of 2088.
Yeah.
Dina says good luck to Maram. Wine Lake also says Gabrielle deserves better luck. Yes,
yeah,
sometimes this happens, and sometimes you just have to keep playing through it.
And sometimes over a 3-game match you can turn things around.
And Marita says that Nabel is a very good player. Yes, I would agree. And we've got someone called Mr. Mystery Box saying hi from Durban in South Africa. And thank you very much for the commentary and expertise.
Good. One of your countrymen. You don't live
I don't know
in
who
South
it is though, because it's a mystery box.
You don't live in South Africa these days, do you?
No, I'm based over here now. My parents still live in South Africa, and I do try to go back, depending on work and things like that.
What part of South Africa?
Reese is saying if we can bet on this, he feels bullish about Higgins having a comeback, and this is what I'm saying about not letting it get into your head.
That's right. Yeah.
You have a bit of bad luck the first game, and your opponent's playing well. The last thing you want to do is come off this game and criticise yourself. Just keep playing your game until the end of the game. Reset for the next game. It's still a best of 3, and try your best in the next game.
Because there are players who try a lot of gamesmanship and stalling tactics, slowing things down, and it does get under the skin of some people. Not saying that Gabrielle's doing that at all, but there are players out there on the circuit that would do that sort of thing. Gamesmanship can be employed.
I don't think Gabrielle's one of those. I've seen her play, and
no, definitely not.
She tends to think about her shots and take her time in it, and make certain of things. Going back to Maram in number 25 in the world, she's also number 3 in the ladies' world rankings. So, very solid, very, very good.
Yeah, she would be, because she's in Block C, isn't she? So she's top of Block C. Gabrielle, I think, was 3rd ranked in Block C.
I was going to mention earlier that there are a lot of players here which I would be quite nervous and very scared of playing against, because I could see myself on the back end of a couple of very big losses.
Yeah, I think so.
The standard is high.
And you have to look at my record against Rachel G to prove that point. I think I might have had one win against her, but she has numerous wins against me.
Yes. Well, I like saying this is of course just the blocks, and 100% positive that Gabrielle will make it into the knockouts. She was the last woman standing in the Worlds last month at the AC Worlds.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Well, she's had rotten luck in this particular game.
Yeah. You've just got to, like I say, just not give up. Keep playing, because you never know what might happen. You might claw another one back, and if you don't, reset for the next game. Mr. Mystery Box has said solid hoop. I'm not sure if you're talking about the hoop running or the actual hoops itself, but these are the quadways, and they are very firmly set in the ground. Even the ground is quite soft. The hoops are very rigid, and there's very little margin for error when you try and run these hoops,
Indeed.
which is a good reflection.
I think Rachel G has just won the first game on lawn 2, and the scoreline looked like 7-3 to Rachel. So number 1 English player is still performing well.
And that's a good shot.
Very good shot, Gabrielle.
Can't quite see from here, but she might have got the block on yellow as well with red. Either that or Moran
think
can
black
just see it.
is in between. You're probably right.
Just squeeze through. Oh, that's a clever shot. Played it quite close. I don't know if she was intending that to be as close as it was. Because if black tries to clear, she was forced to clear on red. Yellow will still clear, but red will stay in a hoop position or close to the hoop.
Yeah.
So I think Gabrielle's going to try and play gently in front of both of those.
Yes, I think disturbing those, you could give ourselves more problem than she has done by playing in front of them. Because Miriam's not going to be able to do a lot with the yellow ball, I don't think.
No. And blue's in a good position to clear red before black, depending what happens.
I think if Gabrielle can win this tactical battle, it will certainly give her a bit of confidence back.
Yes.
And
yes.
help her, if not in this game, in the next game. She does need to boost her confidence at the moment.
It's a nice little shot. She's putting it fairly close to black.
Yes, which is difficult to clear red and leave black there, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now, I would be aiming, from Gabrielle's perspective, for the left-hand side of red,
Yeah.
aiming to cut it up towards the previous hoop,
Yeah, as far towards us as possible.
and force the long shot.
Yeah.
But I think she's probably a bit worried about maybe ricocheting off and clearing her own black from where it is.
Yes, that is the danger. No, she's cleared it nicely, and she's managed to bring blue up towards the yellow. I'm not sure how close she's got to yellow. Could be very useful there,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, I think it's important. I think yellow can't run the hoop. And Ram's just checked the rigidity of the hoop, so I take it she's going to try and go for the clearance from black, hopefully with an in-off.
Yes, that's, I think, what she's got in mind. She's had rather spectacular success with that of Hoop 5, and she's hoping to do so again.
I think this is why I would have tried to clear red further up the lawn. But I think,
Yeah, but
obviously, I think
well,
it's quite possible that if she did that, Gabrielle would have knocked her own black out the way.
Yeah.
So,
But getting the blue up towards the yellow has been quite useful.
yes, I think that's
So should
brilliant.
this not work, which it hasn't, yeah, and she's gone offside, I think, down there.
Yeah.
At least give Gabrielle a bit of confidence, having won that tactical battle.
And she's asked for red to go back to
Yeah.
halfway line on the west boundary. Is that correct? Because we're the opposite way around, aren't we? North, south,
East boundary.
east boundary. No,
No, it's west
no,
boundary.
west boundary.
Yeah, it's going to west boundary.
Yeah.
It was over on the east boundary. Yeah, of course. Some people that aren't aware of the layout here at Southwick is we have lawns 1, 2 and 3 laid out in one direction, and then the next lawns with 2 rows of 3, lawns 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 are at 90 degrees. And then lawns 10 and 11 revert back to the same orientation as lawns 1, 2 and 3. So it can be quite confusing when you first arrive here.
Reese has put in the chat, Higgins in big capital letters. So,
So we've got Aston on the camera now, over on the far end.
and Mr. Mystery Box was saying he's from South Africa, is playing at Berea, Golf Croquet at Berea Croquet Club in Durban, which is a very small club. He's saying that his body just wasn't coping with the swing of the mallet anymore. Yeah, well, I know that feeling. I've over the years had several back problems, which means I have to change my swing and get a longer mallet to cope with those back problems. But fortunately, I'm still playing.
I can't understand all you youngsters with problems, Andrew. Look at me, I'm still going.
And he says he loves it though. He loves the strategy, and he misses it. Yeah. I was saying to my wife yesterday, that I was itching to get on the lawn and play. Being here, watching and all that, I always get the bug like that.
Well, I should be straight in here on Tuesday afternoon when this is over, organising my low handicap group. I have a group of 8 what we call A-class players, handicapped 2 and under, and we have a session every Tuesday afternoon.
Nice. And the wine lakes just asked, why is hoop 9 so much harder to approach than hoop 3? Or is that just me? No, it's not just you. I don't know what it is, but it always seems to be more difficult to approach hoop 9 rather than hoop 3. I don't know if it's because it's closer to the end of the game and it's more pressure and you're having to get it.
Well, there's a lot of people regard hoop 9 as a very critical hoop, don't they? If you can get that and go down towards 10, assuming you were 4-4 at 8, and then 5-4 with a good approach to 10, if you've got 6-4, you're very much in control.
Yeah.
So it is regarded as an essential hoop, I think, that you've really got to concentrate on hoop 9.
Yeah.
If you can get that, you're doing very well.
And that is probably why it's difficult to approach it, because you want to try and get the perfect position, so you can get that advantage. Yeah. I think Gabrielle will be clearing yellow here.
Yes.
I think that she shook her head there. She was trying to get the in off, or
Well,
gently play it so it got in the jaws.
She's got an extremely long clearance coming up with blue on red in a minute. Which I think is a big ask, because it's, she's wired, possibly not wired, but it's still a big shot, this one. No.
Just missed the looks of it.
So this for the game, isn't it?
Yeah, run this hoop for the game.
For a second 2. Yeah,
That's game.
that was a very strong performance by Miriam.
Yep. So I'd like saying so is it almost worth sacrificing hoop 8 just to get to hoop 9? I think it depends.
Well,
What the score is, whether you're behind or not. I think it'd be silly to sacrifice it if you're behind. I want to try and get as many hoops as possible when I can.
yeah.
But that's me. So, as we said, it's important here that Gabrielle should take the positives back from that. She did run a couple of
That was
do a couple of good things,
much
but she
quicker-
won that tactical battle at hoop 8.
Yes, which
She
is,
played well at hoop 8, and remember that.
yeah, that's
We know things kind of went wrong. Had a couple of unlucky breaks.
but take the
Okay.
positives from the game and think about a hoop 8.
Yeah.
Take that forward.
Yeah.
Try and build on that.
Yes.
Certainly it was a quicker game than I expected there, Andrew. And I've gone off for a breezer at the moment.
I think that,
It'll take me 5 minutes.
and I think that's good.
Ian's checking the hoops, but he's not finding too much of a problem. I haven't seen him have to tap them yet.
No, it's a credit to the groundskeepers and hoop setters that they've managed to create great conditions with really, really firm hoops.
I'm surprised yesterday we seem to have acquired a whole lot of new centre pegs here.
Right, just to let you know, the stream is going to stop for a moment. We're taking a bit of a break, and it'll be coming back on at 1 p.m. with some new commentators. So thank you very much for listening in, and hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and hopefully we'll be commentating at another point at some
Just
during
to
the
add-
week.
Just add to that, my thanks also to, I've enjoyed working alongside Andrew, and we are closing down for now.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of the croquet in the next couple of sessions, and hope to see you soon. Bye.
Good afternoon, everybody, and that's the end of session 1. I'm actually going to be starting session 2 immediately because, well, we all want to see the game, don't we? So give me 2 minutes. Please hang on in there. Come back to YouTube /@Croquet England, and we'll be back